The film commences with a journalist entering a restaurant to interview Miss Laura Quinn, the sole woman ever to hold a managerial position at the London Diamond Corporation. The reporter aims to write a positive article about the first wave of women joining the workforce. During their conversation, Quinn surprises the reporter by revealing a stolen diamond, leading the reporter to assume she had been imprisoned for the theft. The story then flashes back to 1960 when Quinn was working as a manager at the London Diamond Corporation. The company faces scrutiny for a mining accident that claimed the lives of over 100 African miners. While the Soviet Union pressures the UK for United Nations sanctions, they secretly engage in business with the London Diamond Corporation. During an emergency meeting, Quinn advises caution to her male colleagues who propose teaching the Russians a lesson. She warns that such action could have dire consequences, potentially leading the Russians to align with the rival diamond company. Although Quinn's boss, Sir Milton Kendrick Ashton-Croft, agrees with her, he promotes her male colleague Peter Boland to the position of managing director, overlooking Quinn's qualifications. Although upset, Quinn remains resilient and continues to work diligently, even being the last person to leave the office each day. She encounters Harold Reynolds, a man she knew from university, who suggests she consider a career change and provides his business card. Curious, Quinn decides to explore this option. Later, Quinn discovers a movie ticket and a note urging her never to give up in her office. Intrigued, she follows the instructions and meets the mysterious person at the movie theater, who turns out to be Mr. Hobbs, the janitor at the London Diamond Corporation. He clarifies that he has a business proposition instead of a romantic interest. After much persuasion, Quinn reluctantly agrees to hear Mr. Hobbs' plan, wherein he intends to steal $1 million worth of diamonds from the corporation before his impending retirement. Despite initial doubts, Quinn eventually becomes convinced and agrees to assist him, driven by her desire for wealth. Quinn attends a dinner party at Ashton-Croft's residence and sneaks into his room to find the vault passcodes as part of Mr. Hobbs' plan. She fails to locate the codes but manages to memorize the combination from a document Ashton-Croft takes from his safe. Using this information, she obtains the codes written on a piece of paper from the safe. Excitedly, Quinn hands over the passcodes to Mr. Hobbs. However, the next day, the corporation installs security cameras throughout the building, including one dedicated to the vault corridor. Panicking, Quinn rushes to inform Mr. Hobbs and urges him to call off the heist, but he refuses, blackmailing her into continuing. To buy Mr. Hobbs some time, Quinn makes a prank call to the guard station from a payphone. However, their confidence is shattered when they discover that the corporation has cameras covering the entire building. Despite Quinn's pleas, Mr. Hobbs proceeds with the heist, stealing far more diamonds than planned. The corporation hires a private investigator named Finch to uncover the culprits behind the heist. Suspicion falls on Quinn due to her interactions with Mr. Hobbs, and Finch begins to closely monitor them. Realizing the severity of the situation, Quinn seeks to return the diamonds and cooperate with Finch's investigation, even though she is unaware of their current location. Finch discovers a loophole in the security camera system and deduces that the crime was an inside job, with the perpetrator acquiring the vault codes from Ashton-Croft's residence. The head of the insurance syndicate, Sir Sinclair, refuses to compensate the corporation, causing tension between him and Ashton-Croft. Amidst the chaos, Quinn accidentally drops her diamond earrings into a sink, leading her to a revelation about the heist and the diamond's hiding place. She heads to the sewers beneath the corporation and encounters Mr. Hobbs guarding a passage. A confrontation ensues, and Quinn manages to escape from Mr. Hobbs' grasp. She discovers the remaining diamonds and contacts Finch, pretending she followed a hunch to find them. The stolen diamonds are eventually recovered, and it is implied that Mr. Hobbs acted alone. Quinn resigns from the corporation after being passed over for promotion yet again. She receives a letter from Mr. Hobbs, apologizing for involving her and compensating her with a substantial amount of money. Quinn spends the rest of her life donating the funds to various causes, keeping one diamond as a personal keepsake. Returning to London after an extended absence, Quinn shares her story, highlighting her journey of resilience, philanthropy, and the pursuit of justice. Quinn reflects on her life's journey, emphasizing how she donated all the money she received from Mr. Hobbs, except for the one diamond she kept as a symbol of her remaining vanity. She expresses that her focus shifted towards making a positive impact on the world and helping those in need. With the stolen diamonds recovered, the London Diamond Corporation implies to the press that the heist was merely a rumor, protecting their reputation. Despite Quinn's involvement being questioned, Finch, the private investigator, decides not to press charges against her, possibly due to his developing feelings for her. Ashton Croft, the head of the corporation, is under immense stress due to the heist and the subsequent media attention. The pressure takes a toll on him, leading to a heart attack. This event further adds to the turmoil surrounding the company. Sinclair, the head of the insurance syndicate from Kings Row, is revealed to have leaked the news of the heist to the press as a means of getting back at Ashton Croft. When his actions are discovered, he faces severe consequences. Sinclair's superior decides to authorize the settlement of the London Diamond Corporation's insurance claim, which would be used to pay the ransom demanded by Mr. Hobbs. Sinclair's career is ruined, and unable to cope with the loss, he tragically takes his own life. Quinn's involvement in the heist becomes a point of interest for Finch, the investigator, who finds her fingerprints in Ashton Croft's room. However, instead of turning her in, Finch takes her out for drinks to confront her about it. The encounter raises suspicion, but Quinn continues to deny her direct involvement in the heist. In the midst of their conversation, Finch receives news of Ashton Croft's heart attack and leaves abruptly. Left alone and overwhelmed, Quinn retreats to the bathroom, where she breaks down, shedding tears of fear and frustration. In her distressed state, she accidentally drops her diamond earrings into the sink, further underscoring her connection to the stolen diamonds. Suddenly, a realization strikes Quinn. She understands how the heist was executed and where the diamonds could be located. Determined, she rushes back to the London Diamond Corporation's headquarters and ventures into the sewers beneath the building. There, she encounters Mr. Hobbs, who is guarding a passageway. A confrontation ensues, with Mr. Hobbs brandishing a gun. Despite the danger, Quinn manages to disarm him and escape. In her escape, she stumbles upon a massive diamond lying on the ground and swiftly pockets it. Meanwhile, Mr. Hobbs confesses that his real motive was not the diamonds or the money but to ruin Clifton Sinclair, the head of the insurance syndicate, who had caused the death of Mr. Hobbs' wife years ago by delaying her medical treatment. Quinn, now terrified and cornered, wanders through the dark sewers until she finds the rest of the stolen diamonds. Realizing the severity of the situation, she contacts Finch and fabricates a story about following a hunch to locate the remaining diamonds. The stolen diamonds are ultimately recovered, and the London Diamond Corporation begins to rebuild. Quinn, however, decides to resign from her position after being repeatedly overlooked for promotions. She receives a letter from Mr. Hobbs, expressing his apology for involving her in his scheme. The letter also contains a substantial amount of money as compensation. In the aftermath of the heist and her resignation, Quinn dedicates herself to a life of philanthropy. She channels her resources and energy into making a positive difference in the lives of others, donating her unspent wealth to various organizations and individuals in need. Returning to London after her extended absence, Quinn decides to share her story with the world, revealing the lessons she learned about resilience, justice, and the pursuit of a meaningful life. She acknowledges that while the diamonds represented a tempting path to wealth, it was her journey of self-discovery and acts of kindness that truly brought her fulfillment. As the extraordinary tale of Laura Quinn comes to a close, she encourages others to find their own paths, overcome obstacles, and make a positive impact in their own unique ways.